Creative anxiety gets treated like a disease, like something to manage, something to kill, something to outgrow. And if you're a creator of any kind, you probably believe or have been told some version of, hey, once you're calm and once you just give zero fucks, then that's when you'll make your best stuff. If you feel called to create, but are a little ashamed of how often you don't, or when you do, you feel like it's just never enough, this is for you. Because that calm, detached version of you has never been the one that made stuff people actually remember. Creative anxiety is not a flaw. It's just the tension that comes from wanting to make something real and knowing that when or if you do, it can be judged. It can be misunderstood. It can be ignored. It can just fail. And the lines between those things are very blurry. And when that tension doesn't get used, it doesn't disappear. It turns inward, the tension. Creative anxiety lives in a very specific place. It's the appreciation for the need to create, colliding with the dread of attaching your identity to what you make. And so it creates this quiet pressure where you're like, yo, I have this vision, I have this gift, I have this responsibility. So why does it feel like I'm just never doing enough? It's a system carrying more energy than it knows how to spend. And when that energy doesn't move, it starts to eat itself. It starts to eat the host. Idle hands. Creative anxiety doesn't come from making things. It comes from not making things. When you're in motion, all of that anxiety has a job. But when you stop, that's when it kind of turns inward and starts to interrogate you. And that's why the anxiety spikes when you zoom out too far and you become outcome obsessed and you get really sterile. At that point, that's when anxiety isn't guiding you anymore and it's pacing you. The pressure has to go somewhere. Creative minds, I think, live in a paradox that most other people never have to touch. Creativity is dysfunction, but it needs functionality to exist at all. So the same force that drives you can be the same force that rots you if it's not directed. Pressure doesn't just disappear. It either turns into output or it flips back into rumination. There's no like neutral state, and it's the waiting for the neutral state that is fucking with you. My anxiety. This took me a long time to admit, but two of my biggest creative drivers have always been anxiety and insecurity. Before I even had the language for it, I was using anxiety as fuel. I was just naturally making things before I ever was like, oh yeah, fuck, if I don't do this, then I tend to self-destruct. But now that I'm aware of that, I just return to making things because I know that that energy has to go somewhere. And when it doesn't get used, it starts chewing at me and it starts fucking with me. And when I start to ignore it, it's like clockwork. It begins leaking out in worse ways. The plane. We really like this idea of the clarity showing up first, like everything's gonna line up and then we're allowed to move. But that's just not how the real ones work. They build the plane while they're falling. They don't wait for certainty. They go ahead anyway while things are really fucking unstable. Most of the fight with creative anxiety comes from trying to sort of clean things up and sanitize and organize before you put your precious hands on it. And it really does just start while it's messy. It starts while it's half formed. It starts while you don't know where it's headed. If you're stuck in that loop of thinking about making and not just making, that's why I built the silencer. Not to calm you down, not to remove pressure, just to help you get moving without turning your life into productivity theater. Why we try to kill it. So why do we try to eliminate anxiety around our creative work? Well, because we don't want to ruin it, because we think that calm would make us better, because we confuse a sort of comfort with quality. But think about the things that really stay with you. You can feel the uncertainty inside of them. You can tell that someone was really in the middle of it. And I think that that feeling is familiar for a reason. Organized anxiety. Here's what I think stability actually looks like. You show up while anxious, you work while you're unsure, and you finish things without needing permission. There's this line in this Night Tape song where she says, "You need to show up even if it feels like a storm. I want to see who you really are. I want to feel who you really are." Just honest contact without the task. Over time, something shifts. The anxiety organizes and it becomes quieter, it becomes sharper, and then that's when it actually becomes useful. Stay close. If you're feeling creative anxiety right now, there's nothing wrong with you. You are close to something. You're close to your personality. And this is something you're going to have to navigate for the long run. So don't zoom out too far. Don't try to diagnose yourself and don't try to purify anything. Just stay close to what is your work and let all of that pressure just move through your hands. And this is not meant as motivation or cope. This is survival for people like you and me. That's it for this one. I believe in you.